Was poppin', was poppin', was poppin'. Welcome to Nicky and Moose. I'm Nicky. That's Moose. What's up, Moose?
What up, y'all?
And we are on episode 44. And let me tell you, it's birthday week.
Hey,
yes, birthday
it's
week.
a celebration.
By the time this drops, it is my birthday. So we are going to celebrate today. We're going to talk about Black Widow. We're going to be talking about some, Simone, which is serious. Simone Biles. We're going to talk about success, but is it too late? We're just going to talk about a lot of things. Moose, how are we feeling about this?
Yeah, you know the vibes, but all that is great. I'm just happy that we get to celebrate you on the back end of this episode. I'm going to just be real. Ain't no sugarcoating that. This one's going to be special, man. The episode actually comes out on your birthday. So, folks, if y'all listening to this, it's Nikki's birthday today. So y'all make sure you show her some love. Yeah, let's get it. This is going to be dope.
And let's just get into this intro.
Two kids from Queens, cut from a different cloth. Now joining forces, helping you to elevate your personal brand. Yeah, I'm talking about Nicky and Moose, bringing you a never-before-seen perspective into the mindset, the mentality, the behaviors, the driving force, but more importantly, the stories behind the people and brands that you know and love the most.
And you know what time it is? It is review of the week. And I just happened to press the one that says 3 because it's going to be August 3 when this drops. So it only makes sense. And plus, what you're about to hear has to deal with J-Lo. And we're just going to celebrate J-Lo. It's Leo season.
Okay.
Leo.
Okay.
So episode 3, Fire. Definitely need to look at J-Lo. Said that all wrong. Definitely never looked at J-Lo in this light. There were so many aha moments for me in this episode. The breakdown is obvious. See, I can't read. On my birthday, I can't read. This is great. The breakdown was absolutely something I'll keep coming back to because it was so rich. Thank y'all. Ooh, that was a struggle. Ooh, I can't read. Lord.
And that was a short one too. Typically,
you know what? I got so used to the long ones that pause. I got so used to those that I had to. Welcome to my birthday.
It's the birthday episode. All right, here we go.
If you know, you know. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
So.
Sheesh.
Thank you for all those who have left a review, is still going to leave a review, thinking about a review. We read all of them. We appreciate and we go back and we just give appreciation. So go leave those reviews. Shout out to the All Access Squad. If you're not part of the All Access Squad, I need you to go and try it out for 3 days. We do an after show, an exclusive audio after show only for those who are part of the All Access. That's it. Go join it. It's only for Apple Podcasts, though. Only for Apple Podcasts. And another slight plug, 120series.com. Moose is going to be speaking. I'm going to be speaking. He's going to be there. It's going to be a whole vibe. All right. You may hear a lot of air horns.
I like how you just dominate. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I love how you just may. But anyways, Moose, how are we feeling?
Man, feeling good. It's been some good, a lot of good stuff happening and some really good conversations. So yeah, we're ready to diversify the conversation. I just wanted to use that word. All right, here we go. Sorry, folks, if you weren't a part of that. That might feel like a little, what are they talking about? It's a running joke right now.
And for all our YouTube live people, they're like, where's the transparency? You spoke about transparency. Where's the transparency? It's okay. It's on the after show, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Comes out in seasons.
Y'all already know we got, Moose is slowly opening up to us. Okay, this is a us thing. Okay, this is not just.
I'm overcoming. Yeah, I'm overcoming my trust issues.
Yeah,
it takes some time. Takes some time.
it's not us, it's him. Okay? It's not us, it's him. All right.
I'm the problem. All right.
So if y'all heard last week's episode, right? We talked about the whole Kanye West rollout. We were going to give an update of what happened. I literally got a tweet pretty much maybe 30 minutes ago as well. So, of course, y'all know the album did not drop. Okay, didn't drop. Now, the really dope thing is that listening party was great, but there's going to be, it looks like on August 5th, another one.
Another listening party?
Another listening party. Yes, I just posted it on Nicky Moose. Yep.
Wow.
So
I thought the album was going to drop August 5th, but okay,
August
carry
6th.
on.
August 6th is going to drop.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. So for those who need a quick reminder, Kanye is rolling out another album called Donda. It's dedicated to his mom. That's her name. And they did a great listening party, right? Amazing. It was in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, packed. No stage, no wild performance, just him in the middle of the stadium playing the whole album. We heard a Jay-Z verse. So I'm excited about that. Super excited. And I knew off top, the second that I heard Jay-Z, that album was not going to come out the next day. Found out that Jay-Z wrote that verse 4 p.m. the day of the listening party. GOAT status. GOAT status. So supposedly
Sounded fire too.
Anyways, I don't want to sound too fanned out, but he went back to the lab. Has supposedly been living in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium this whole time until the album drops. So now that there's going to be another listening party, I'm hoping there's not going to be another delay. What I believe in, and this is what I hope people are going to learn from this rollout. He did a big listening party, right? He got the feedback. He heard it, how other people would receive it, and is making tweaks. So normally in recent listening parties, it just like, it's kind of like a release party. Like you hear it, the next day the album drops, there you go. But he took it as, let me get the feedback. Let me make the tweaks. Let me then drop it down later. I think that's genius. And for people who are like, okay, where's the lesson? Where's the group of people? Clearly, hopefully one day you could pack out the stadium, unless you're already doing it right now. I believe celebrities listen to our podcast. Hear me? Talk about that. But maybe you're already selling certain things out. Maybe you have a small group, whatever it is. Before you drop something major, who are you getting feedback from? Are you making the tweaks when you do get the feedback? Because that's what he did. He pulled the pure A&R kind of vibe. And people actually weren't so mad that it didn't drop. I was like, that's expected. Well, I wasn't even mad.
Yeah,
I was
been
like,
saying that.
He announced Donda like I think a year or two ago that it was going to drop, and it never did. And the fact that we went over last episode that he wasn't speaking on it, he hasn't really said anything, right? That it's like, okay, you know what? If he drops it, cool. If he doesn't, cool. The listening party itself was a great experience. I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I am, I think I don't want to go strategy here for a second or like talk, Rollout. I think you do a phenomenal job covering that. What I want to talk to here is like two sides of it, right? The first one is, imagine the status of being so great in your industry, double down on your craft so much so that you can walk into a professional arena, professional stadium, and say, "Yeah, I'm gonna need this room right here."
Facts.
I'm just camp. You know what I'm saying? Like just the thought, the idea, the fact that you get granted that type of access or that type of permission to work on your craft uninterrupted. Boom, right there with your crew, with your squad. It's like that's definitely something to appreciate. Like at the end of the day, that's one of the things I looked at. Like, wow, what do we have to do to unlock some of these doors or opportunities of that magnitude where you can sit at a professional arena, right, uninterrupted, focusing on your craft?
Yes.
So that's the part to me that I was just like, that is deep, right? And of course, there's that part of it, which is like just the discipline. The fact that at his level, where he has no wants, like he can afford, he can buy whatever he likes. But the fact that he is still unlocking new areas of genius, unlocking new areas of greatness. He tapped out the fashion and the sneaker industry, reached a couple $2 billion there, now back in the music game, still putting out great music. It's like, you gotta respect that, like I think those are the two things that when I see things of that type of nature, I'm like, man, that's dope. Like that's really, really cool to see. It kind of gives you some inspiration to, not necessarily kill yourself in what you're doing or the work that we're pursuing, but at least say, all right, how can I, just like, how can I compare? What are some of the comparisons here that I can build from? Because that's truly, a lot of respect to Kanye for that.
Yeah, it's I put on Nicky and Moose Instagram. I was like, yeah, we're too invested in this. Let me continue to cover it. Yep, August 5th listening party. What do y'all feel about this rollout? Are you saying do the listening party or just drop the album? Shout out to those who've already commented, but I'm excited about it still. We're still going to cover it next week. Not so much. Hopefully we could talk a little bit if the wait was worth it. Like from what we heard, I think it is. I don't know if he completely took it all the way out. Left maybe one or two things in. I don't know. There was one song that I was like, okay, you could get all the way out. That needs to go. You are clearly going through something. You are acting pure R&B, like I spoke about last episode. But I'm looking forward to it. You know what I mean? Let's talk about something we normally don't, which is the release of a movie, but with a lawsuit. Okay? So, for those who are Black Widow fans, right? It dropped, and it dropped simultaneously with movies and Disney Plus. However, Scarlett, that's her name, Scarlett Johansson, didn't like that and is suing Disney because they're saying it's breach of contract. Like you said, you were only going to do movie only. And the fact that you dropped it with Disney Plus, you probably cost me a couple of mil. We didn't agree with this. So I'm going to sue you. Now, I love Disney. Let me tell you why. Because Disney's a low-key gangster, right? Disney said, ma'am, we abided by the whole contract. And with Disney Plus, you get extra money on top of the 20 mil that you already have. However, it's sad and disgusting that you are not considerate of the pandemic that we are in. Clearly paraphrase in my New York ways, but y'all could look it up. It clearly says the same thing. Disney said, yo, you bugging, you don't even care about the people, and you getting paid extra. Like, since you want to put this out here, you've already gotten 20 mil. Now, here's the thing. shout out to Isaiah who's giving me this this information, because I'm not so privy and watch Black Widow and the Avengers and all that great stuff. But he was like, because I was like 20 mil, 50 mil. Maybe I'm not in that tax bracket yet to be like, nah, give me my 50. Give me, run that, right? I would have been like, 20 mil? You know what I mean?
It's cool.
Disney Plus, why not? You know what I mean? I get it. This is cool, right? But Isaiah was saying, nah, they killed off her character. This is her like last hurrah with this whole series and things. So this was,
wow, I didn't know that.
Right. So this was supposed to be her big payoff. So yeah, she could be a little bit upset. Here's my take on it, real quick, fast, in a hurry. Now, clearly, we are going with a he say, she say kind of vibe, right? None of us have seen the contract. What I will say is, if you got into a contract with just movie theaters only, still understanding that we are in a pandemic, that's almost an L on you. Like, I feel if we know that not everybody is still going out to theaters, I know I haven't gone. I watched Space Jam on HBO Max. I'm not going to the theaters. There's no need. I'm cool, right? Especially with how things are turning out lately. If you are in a position to where you can pretty much eat off of both, why wouldn't you put that in your contract? Like, are you realizing that now? Like, oh man, they've been doing that, but they told me movie theaters only. But yo, we in a pandemic. Like, that didn't even make sense. Where is your team, ma'am? Why did you think that was okay? Like, of course they're gonna drop it in Disney Plus. Of course. That's almost a given with any of these streaming platforms. It's not, I don't feel like that's too far-fetched anymore. I feel like that's the new norm. And if you don't necessarily have that in your contract, is it really, but that's, like I said, that's what I would have looked at it. Mind you, I haven't seen the contract, nothing. I do like Disney's Gangsta. I do. I'm going to put your business out if you're going to put mine. If you're going to say you're supposed to make 50 mil, okay, cool. And also understanding that this is one of the lowest Marvel joints that's been out. And you still got 20 mil. I see what you're saying, though. I get it. I understand, but it's sad. I'm more like...
It's crazy.
Ma'am.
I don't know, Nix. I don't know. I might have to part with Scarlett on this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I see both sides. Like, yeah, for sure. Business side, yeah. It's like, yo, business is business. I get it. And at the end of the day, we're all fighting to gain the advantage. Cool. Yeah. But, I mean, what was the communication like? So here's one way to look at it as well.
Okay.
Typically with projects like this, you don't record or you don't start filming and release in a matter of no time.
Yeah.
Like, it is very likely that this was worked on prior to the start of COVID and the whole pandemic. It's super likely.
I see what you did there.
You know what I'm saying? No, that's just pure facts.
Right.
Or not, I'm saying pure facts because we don't know. But I'm just saying, for the most part, most of these movies, you know, let's say in the event that was the case, come on, Disney, like, whoever it is, can we come back to the negotiation table and say, hey, let's just do this in a transparent way. Here's what happened. Circumstances have changed. This is what we're about to do. But don't worry about it. You're still going to get blessed.
But
right? Then I think that's fair game.
But is it not also, and we're not behind the scenes, But isn't it not when she understood what was happening with the world, maybe being like, hello, is this even possible to hit streaming services? Like, what does that look like? Getting her team to be like, yo, is there extra compensation with this? If not,
yeah, that's where I'm with you with that point in terms of like the team stepping in, and that's probably the lesson for us, just like with our own stuff. As you watch the environment or the marketplace shift and change, beyond what you originally created or beyond the intention of what you thought it was going to be, you got to be proactive to jump out in front and say, hold up. So I know, right? So that's for sure. That's a team thing. That's a legal thing. That's like her business managers or whomever are those people. They should have jumped in and kind of seen that was taking place and started to, or should have jumped outside or jumped ahead of the gun and kind of said, all right, let me see how we can pencil this in as well. Because yeah, you can make revisions to a contract. That is there. But yeah, I could see both sides though. I just like, when stuff like that happens, I like to keep it traditional in the sense, yo, let's just be transparent. Like if we have to come back, both parties, let's come back together and make it happen, as opposed to one side just doing it like, oh, you got no say in this anyway, which is like, what? Come on, that's not cool.
Right. And I think it's just being aware of the world that we're in, making sure that aligns with our business, like paperwork wise. Like if we are on somebody else's platform or whatever, what are all the different possible ways they can make money off of it? And how are we getting compensated from that? And that doesn't necessarily even mean just with the pandemic, just in general. How many times are they going to slice this pie?
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm excited, yeah.
Even if...
Oh, my bad. No, go for it.
Yeah, even if it was like box office only, they knew, regardless of if this was prior to COVID or not, it was more like, I know you have Disney Plus. I know this is eventually going to be on Disney Plus. What does that look like for us? Especially if this is going to be your last hurrah with this series. Clearly not of acting, but let me get some royalties off that. What you talking about? This is my like, I'm out here. But they're saying, yo, to compensate is based off box office sales and things like, and then bonuses will kick off depending on how much it makes. And so I can understand, of course, how upset she could be, and if that is black and white what it is, right? But I think that's also an L on her team for not putting it in the contract even before with Disney Plus. We know it's there. It's been advertised, subscribe, and I think somebody in her legal team was just like, yo, they're doing this to get more subscribers, blah, 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 blah. Okay. That's what they're supposed to do. That's not manipulating, but then it's like, yo, this could be an eye-opening thing because Disney's a big bully. Possibly. That's possible.
And most big corporations, in a way, are like, they're not going to be, as friendly as we would imagine.
It's the you need me. I don't necessarily need you. But
absolutely, there's a lot of other people out there, who want to play that role. So
I'm
take it or leave it, kind of thing.
I see your value. I want to give you what's fair. But, ma'am, I get it. I understand. But we don't even have to do this movie. Like, I get it. I do. I hope whatever's fair out of this situation comes out. I hope she doesn't feel that she got shafted on her contract. I really hope not. I hope they come with an agreement offline. That's what I will say.
And I'm sure they will. Like, most settlements like that typically happen,
So
Check them contracts, y'all.
Yo, y'all know we've talked
Check
about
them contracts. Yep.
are different. Contracts are different. It's a different beast. So let's talk about a little bit of some serious news, and a possible solution. So we know Simone Biles, I was about to say checked out. That sounded so dramatic. But withdrew from the Olympics overall due to focusing on mental health. And we have a clip of her speaking about that.
Just as a whole, not having an audience, there are a lot of different variables going into it. It's been a long week. It's been a long Olympic process. It's been a long year. So just a lot of different variables. And I think we're just a little bit too stressed out. But we should be out here having fun. And sometimes that's not the case.
Moose, go on this first.
Yeah, you're gonna have two people. Again, like I've spent some time online to like understand what's the whole debate about. Like someone made a personal decision about their mental health and their well-being and what they felt was also in the best interest of their team, right? Because like also when the news first broke, she was talking about like, yo, I'm not gonna help the team win this way, so let me just make my exit. Clearly, I know myself. I know what I'm capable of. The judges know what I'm capable of, and I'm not hitting that mark. So you have one side of the defense that's like, yo, how you just gonna up and leave your team like that? And I get it, team sport. But what I also found out is that the way that they're judged, it's really individually. Like, you know, like it's what Nicky does, it's what Moose does, it's what Simone does. And then combined, you know, it kind of helps us. So it's like, I get you, but I also don't get you. I don't think that's the most appropriate answer.
Right.
But I do think we have to remember that these are still human beings.
Yep.
Right? These are still human beings who a lot of us on the planet cannot do half of what they're capable of doing.
Yep.
So you gotta respect and appreciate when someone makes a decision that takes care of their personal and their best interest. There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone's quick to say, hey, put the mask on yourself before you put it on somebody else. But why are we knocking somebody when they actually practice that in real life? That's exactly what she's doing. She's saying, hey, I'm gonna have to look out for me real quick. I love my country, but I can't die for my country. So I just think like, we need to really start thinking before we calling people out for stuff that we preach. It's like that double standard stuff. I think it's such a turnoff. Like if that's what we live by or that's what we encourage others to do, then we can't do differently than it. And we also can't get upset at people for doing what we encourage them to do. Like that's what we're teaching. So let her do what, you know, is for her best interest. So yeah, Nix, I mean, I'm not mad at it. Truth be told, I think it's fair game what she did. She did something to protect her own mental health and her well-being, and we just got to respect that.
Yeah, I don't understand the uproar about it. Like I don't, and like I get it to an extent just because she is the face. She's one of the faces of the Olympics when it comes to the U.S., right? This is the person we look forward to winning it all and bringing it back home. And it's like that we don't put under consideration that, you know, she's a human. She's not like, and that's the problem. And I think we're going to get into it with these two topics that we're going back to back with. But this is entertainment, right? And so you always have to perform. And it's almost as if when you get into this position, you are okay with always serving and being that entertainment for everybody, regardless of what you go through. Your job is to be entertaining. Your job is to perform out there. You're not a human. You're a performer. You're an athlete. You're that. And it's sad that we tend to forget that they're humans. And it's interesting, and I'm going to go to this next clip of what I'm going to say. Like, with all the pressure, especially with the pandemic and how they didn't have an audience and how some people really get the energy from the audience to know that they did good, they hit it right, all that great stuff. What is, if people were given free therapy sessions during the pandemic, I wonder what athletes get during these big situations. So Michael Phelps did a interview that we have a clip from.
I think athletes and Olympic athletes in general, I mean, talking about weight of gold, we need someone who we can trust. Somebody that can let us be ourselves and listen, allow us to become vulnerable. Somebody who's not going to try and fix us. We're humans, right? We're human beings. Nobody is perfect. So yes, it is okay to not be okay. It is okay to go through ups and downs and emotional roller coasters. But I think the biggest thing is we all need to ask for help sometimes too when we go through those times.
So what is good and bad is that with the pandemic, mental health has now been a new normal conversation. We have heard about it. We've accepted it. We know that things need to happen because of it. So it's not one of those like, oh my God, we're talking about it. We shouldn't talk about it. If nothing's being done. Like, people recognize it and is like, we support you. She is getting a lot of support for what she is doing, right? A lot of people like, yo, protect her. We support you, all that great stuff. And then there's some that is just like, I think it's just on a media vibe. It's not like you don't support it. You cannot not support somebody who's literally just saying, yo, I'm out. Like, I got to make sure I'm good. I'm not going to be good. I'm not going to win if I'm not good. Like, I could possibly get injured. I could possibly lose it for the whole team. Let me check myself out. Let me do y'all this favor, because if I lose, I lose. If I check out, I lose. But the weight of, because I didn't check out and I lost for the whole team, that weighs heavier than me just checking out. I'll take this L. Whatever y'all want to say, I'll take this L. But I did this more for my teammates because they deserve to win. And my mistakes, my unfocused kind of vibes shouldn't penalize them, right? Now, I'm hoping that with this, between Naomi, please give us a check. With Naomi,
4 straight.
I promise you, we talk about her.
episodes.
Like, just come to Nicky and Moose and just talk to us. I know you're an introvert and you don't really like doing interviews too much, and so you don't have to. Just be with us. How about that? Don't say anything. Just be with us. You know what I mean? We'll talk about you majority of the time anyways. But with what happened with her, what's happening with Simone, like, I'm hoping that athletic departments in general, not just Olympics, not just tennis, like just in general, they're coming up with a solution to make sure this is not a regular thing, that people are not dropping out because of mental health. Because if we hear a football player say that, a basketball player say that, not tennis, golf, like whatever it is, if this continues to be a pattern, you have to look at the bigger department. You know, you have to look at the league, you have to look at the Olympics, you have to look at the coaches, you have to look at all these things. And like, yo, y'all are really insensitive and do not necessarily care about anything else but winning.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's not going to go anymore. It's not going to go anymore. I believe
because I was going to say that I think that we're seeing that people are very supportive of her now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When they saw that the overwhelming majority was like understanding of her situation.
Yep.
But in the very beginning, I think it could have very easily tipped the other way because she was getting some like immediate backlash for how she walked off. People were feeling some type of way. But as it relates to like the services that are available now or the support, the help that's available for people now, you know, it's funny. I heard Brandon Marshall talk about this just like briefly today. I was on Instagram and I saw it where he talked about these services. And by the way, Brandon Marshall, let me shoot my shot as Nicky normally would. Brandon Marshall, listen, man, I shot you a DM some time back. We were on a Zoom call together, so you may not remember me, but it's cool. You should, you know, I would love to bring you on the show. Just 5-minute, quick little segment, talk about mental health on the Nicky and Moose podcast. You know, love what you're doing with House of Athletes, phenomenal stuff. But anyway, you know, heard him talk about it.
I just want to drop that. We're cutting that, and we're going to put that on all platforms. So everybody comment and tag my man when we do that.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, man.
Yeah. Come on, Brandon. Come on. Come hang out with us. Just 5 minutes, you know? No, but I heard him talk about it. He said teams had access to these professionals. I think it was like mandated. It was mandatory that every team had a mental health professional on the staff maybe 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And again, somebody's got to fact check me on this, but we don't know if that rule still exists today, with mental health being even more of a serious issue today than it was probably 3 years ago, or maybe just as important, but not talked about, you know, as much as it is talked about now. So yeah, that's one of those things where it's like, you know, it's true. If we are going to have such high expectations of our, you know, athletes and all of these people to perform, then we definitely should be able to support them with those needs, of course, you know, should that time come for it. Like, yeah, it's important.
Everybody go protect Simone. All right? Just protect her. So, so let's get into this topic. DaBaby. Let's just start there. Okay, so let me give you guys some backstory. Real quick, fast, in a hurry. So, I don't know, past Sunday, whatever, Rolling Loud, Miami, had a performance which was already a little bit controversial, but as a call to action, some people, you know, if you got $100 in your pocket, put your hands in the air. You know, if you got real hair, put your hands in the air. Like, certain people do a call to action. Entertainers do a call to action to get the crowd going. Well, DaBaby did the same thing, just a little bit different. Kind of insulting and offending people who have HIV and AIDS and the LGBTQ plus community. Made some inappropriate things. Y'all could look that up. We're not going to put it here. But what we're going to address with this situation is sometimes you just need to sit down. Just let that rock. So, yes, DaBaby has apologized. But his apologies, I'm going to be honest with you, is just trash. And I'm going to state this, that yes, it's trash, but I think, as weird as it sounds, it's genuine trash. What do I mean by that? I think he just doesn't necessarily know better, right? I think he honestly thought it was genuine. He's an entertainer. He was put on the stage to entertain. And maybe in his shows, he says things like that because he has a connection with his audience or whatever. But in such a big, and if y'all didn't see that crowd on Rolling Loud, you wonder why COVID is back? You need to see that audience, period. But with a bigger audience like that, you may want to scale back on some of the things that you do on your personal tours, right? So if y'all heard the rant, if y'all heard that call to action, it was dumb. It wasn't even needed. It was just left, right? And there is one of the apologies that I have up on the screen for my YouTube people, but for my audio people, he tweeted out, anybody who's ever been affected by AIDS/HIV, y'all got the right to be upset. What I said was insensitive, even though I have no intentions on offending anybody. So my apologies. But the LGBT community, I ain't tripping on y'all. Do you? Y'all business is y'all business. So the thing is, this has gotten a lot of attention. You have Sir Elton John commenting on, you don't know your facts about HIV and AIDS. You don't know your facts on the community, right? Because one of the parts was like, yo, if you don't have HIV and AIDS, put your cell phone lighters up or something like that, right? It was just weird. It was just very, very weird. The performance in itself was weird. Now, T.I. jumps in, was like, yo, y'all giving DaBaby the problem, but y'all let Lil Nas X do whatever he wants. T.I., stop, right? And I posted earlier, like, we've gone back and forth about this topic. We can't continue to put so many expectations on these celebrities and influencers. Like, we just can't. People are raised differently. They're brought up differently. They have different views. Just because something is accepted doesn't mean that everybody understands it and can speak intelligently on it. DaBaby can't intelligently speak on things he doesn't really go for or understand. Now, granted, should he just be quiet about it? Yeah, but it's freedom of speech, right? I'm not condoning what he said. I think it's really dumb and just, like I said, it's just very ignorant what he said, but he doesn't know better. It's like, he legitimately doesn't know better. So he thought it was, it was nothing. And if you look at it from what it was, it's just random. It's just super random. In the times that we are in, it's a little bit, we insensitive culture. I'm not even called cancel culture. We're just insensitive culture.
Yeah.
So understanding, just when we are in bigger platforms, let's fall back a little bit. Let's just do what we were paid for, and let's perform our gift and keep it moving, right? But what he is doing is continuously trying to apologize, and it just sounds all bad. And so he got dropped from brands. He got dropped from festivals. He's people he's featured with are not co-signing with him no more. But here is where I give him small props. I give him small props because with all the situation that is happening, he still dropped the video. with everything that is happening, he is still about his business. I feel as I wouldn't do it that way. I'm not saying it's wrong how he's going about it. I just wouldn't go it that way. I would be quiet. I would drop my video. I would keep it moving. Find somebody from a team who can give me a proper apology and not even try to take on that horse. Not even try. I would be like, yo, write this up for me. Boom. I'll do a video. I'll tweet it out, whatever it is. But let me go about my business, because you can't knock the craft. You can't knock how good and on a winning streak that DaBaby has been. But we expect too much, and we expect these celebrities and influencers to be full in tune with the world and the different cultures and love everybody and respect everybody and know the trigger words. This is a dude who's on a winning streak, who we don't know how his background was. If he knows anybody with HIV and AIDS, maybe he doesn't know a single person. Or maybe the people who he does know is in a negative way. We don't know if he knows anybody from the LGBTQ plus community, what his relationships with them are. We just don't know. And so as an audience, as a fan, as a community, we got to lay off. Like, my man's going to make mistakes. You can't sit here and say he isn't trying to apologize. It's just ignorant apologies. Teach him. Instead of criticizing him, instead of downplaying him, teach him. He's going to learn, because money is now taken away. Brands are pulling out. Festivals are pulling out. He's going to get taught. Prime example is just like bigger platforms. Let me just perform. That's it. When I'm in my space, when I'm in my hometown, when I know what the crowd is doing, let me be a little bit more lenient. That's like how I look on social media. In my platform, I can say whatever I want. I can do what I want, post whatever I want, say. When I get on other people's lives, when I go, there's a little difference. I act right. I don't know them. They don't know me. I'm not going to act a fool. But that's how I would do.
Yeah. Man, I mean, honestly, I have really nothing to share about the situation, but what I will say is I like kind of the point that you're taking it in, which is like, yo, perform what you're paid to do.
Facts.
Stop doing extra. All right, like just keep that part simple. But more specifically, to people of the audience and either fans of a particular person or a community, wherever it is, I think it's really time for us to start becoming our own heroes a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's cool to appreciate somebody's artistry, but I think this generation is becoming obsessively attached to every single word, every single move, every single piece of clothing that somebody wears that they want to emulate and become like.
Yeah.
That it's really setting us up for almost disaster in a way. I think we need to start becoming our own heroes a little bit more. Like, yo, you know what? I admire this dude, but man, I love the heck out of me. Shout out to T.O., if anyone remembers. But, you know, he was just big. Like, yo, I love me some me. And yeah. I think we need to embrace that a little bit more. Like, we're becoming too tied to just a few big names in each industry. And we're so big on what they do, and then we just sway our entire momentum, and it shifts the community and the culture based on what those people do. But yo, you got a voice, you got a talent, you got a skill set, you know, and that's why I appreciate so much what we do here, because we're trying to make it more about the authenticity of something instead of a focus strictly on the numbers and the followers and the likes and the comments. Like, we're not even worried about that. Like, I love the comment that, you know, you showed me of what someone put on the YouTube show. It's like, you know, it's only a matter of time for you guys. You better not give up. It's
Yeah.
like, that's cool, right? Like that, I appreciate stuff like that. So yeah, I don't really have nothing to comment about the situation. I mean, I think, you broke it down wonderfully in terms of both sides and what it's like. But I think for our listeners, man, I think we need to start becoming our own heroes a little bit more. Admire some of these, favorite people, but love on you. Like, like you got enough swag to not have to be so caught up in what other people are doing, so that I think also when you have that value and worth for yourself, you're not hurt by somebody making a comment that oh my God, it hurt my feelings. It's like, no, what they said, doesn't line up with who you know yourself to be. Don't pay it so much attention. And I think over time, this stuff is going to kind of pass by like water under the bridge. So that's my hope for, how people will respond. But I do think there's a word in that, like, love on you.
That, and just be the change. If you have such a problem with it, be the change. That was one of the things I was going to tweet. I was going to tweet, like, if y'all have such a problem with some of these celebrities and influencers, then you become one. Like, they're given the same opportunities as we are.
Same tools, for sure. Yep. You got a phone, you got that. Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm not sitting here saying that all of them should be as vocal as they are. Some need to be quiet. But they are given the same tools, like you said. And I'm like, you have a problem, then become one.
Yeah.
Get an audience, put out a message, create a platform, keep it moving, and serve those people and entertain those people, motivate those people. Do whatever you need to do. But lay off of how hard you are on somebody, because the comeback is going to be disgusting.
Yeah.
We've seen it too many times where somebody gets killed, canceled, all that great stuff, and they come back and they're like, yo, this is great. Yo, sit down.
People love them again.
Yeah, sit down. But, so, I found this clip to kind of transition into birthday talk. Okay? For those that are like, Nikki, how old are you? I'm in my 30s. Okay?
Good. Yeah. Stop asking questions, okay?
I'm in my 30s. All right? So, I know there is sometimes, and I'm using just the word expectation a little bit a lot in this episode, but there is an expectation of how successful you're supposed to be in certain ages or certain things, right? And I got a clip for that.
It doesn't matter when. That should be irrelevant. You can't put a deadline on your own success. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It ruins people. You know those people that are like, by 30, if I don't have, and it's like, then what's going to happen at 30 if you don't? You know what I'm saying?
So here's where the conversation comes in, right? I don't know if I wanted to be successful, or I not wanted to be, but if I should be successful when I was in my 20s, because I know so much more now. Like, like, the information, the experiences that I've had makes it so much more dangerous, right?
That's what's up. Yeah.
And I think maybe before, like back in the day, those kind of expectations of, okay, by this time you're supposed to have a college degree, by this time you're supposed to have a job, by this time you're supposed to be retired, that I think that's gone. And here's my hip hop life. Like, when Jay-Z said 30's the new 20, I think that literally brought back time like 10, 20 years, because the same people who keep saying that is like 40's the new 30, 40, like they keep saying this just to make themselves feel younger. But we're clearly seeing, because things are being documented way more on, okay, this person's getting rich at like 50 something. This person is at the highest of their peak at 70 something. Like you're seeing a lot of people make a whole guap of money being very successful in their way in their early 20s, and then some in like 70s, 80s, 90s. Like there's no range of when you're supposed to hit success.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had conversations like, I feel like there's something right there that is going to get us to whole new heights. I just don't know what that is just yet, but it's there, right? And by the time you've seen this, I'm on my clarity trip. I'm just put that out there. Clarity. That's what I'm calling it. Not calling it a birthday trip. I'm calling it clarity. But
clarity trip.
But and I think it's just maybe past family members, just past environment. Like we're supposed to do certain things. And I'm not having, where I am right now, I don't have a deadline when this is supposed to work. I'm not in no rush, because the older I get, the better experiences I get, the more books I'm reading, the more courses I'm in. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm absolutely good. I'm not rushing it. I'm absolutely not. And so I look at that clip and I wanted to play it because it's just like, yo, let's take that weight off. Like, if you're 40 and you're still working a 9 to 5, you're a fail. Like, or if you retired and all you're living off is a pension, it's not successful anymore. Like, that's not, we hold true to what a true definition of success is. No one really could tell us in our lives what success is. Like, no one. I have my own definition. You have your own definition. It may be some semi-similar, but there's still things that is just like, nah. Some people's definition of success is like, yo, I got a roof over my head. My family's good. I'm good. I'm successful. You know why? Because before, that wasn't the situation, right? If some people are like, yo, my parents didn't make this amount of money. I make 6 figures and I have a degree. I'm successful. I'm good. What is wrong with you? Other people are like, yo, until I hit the millionaire mark with these particular things, I still got to grind. I still got to go. And to each his own. There's no definition of success that is right or wrong. You just figure it out first. Don't lean on other people's success and don't lean on other people's expectations. That's what I'll say.
I like that. I don't drink, but of course, there's that saying, I like wine, get better with time. You know what I'm saying? That whole thing. Okay. Fair.
I know what you're saying. You just definitely said it wrong, but it was cool. It was cool. I like it.
That idea, right? The idea that you get better as you age, that whole thing. That's kind of where I'm going with it. But no, I'm with you on that. I think, I was talking with Carl today. I was talking with Carl, and I think I told you what he said too. He said, "Oh, you sound like you're getting smarter." And yes. I was like, I don't know if it's me getting smarter or me just becoming more mature. And this is in full transparency. I think I've always been intelligent. I've maybe in the last year or so, I've probably learned to embrace it a little bit more. Like, yo, you're smart. Sometimes you may seem like you're trying to be deep to people, but that's who you are. Just embrace it. Like, stop trying to worry about, sounding too whatever. But the difference that's happening to me in this season of my life is I'm becoming more mature. I'm recognizing that I don't have to jump on somebody else's clock. I don't have to follow somebody else's blueprint. There's a particular blueprint that I can follow just with the experience, the information, and the things that I've acquired. Just like you said, through time, right? You acquire your own blueprint. And I think that's becoming now more wisdom. So that's the thing that everyone prays for, right? So it's like, I'm becoming more wise. And what was the lesson that I learned that helped me to, what I feel, acquire this maturity now? I'm no longer trying to cut corners. I'm no longer trying to break something in that's supposed to take 2 years to do in 4 months. I'm just like, yo, just do it the right way and trust that if you can do it faster, it'll happen faster. But don't start with the intention of, if it takes 2 years, how can I do it in 4 months? It's like, just go, just work the instructions, the stuff that you've been given, and allow that to happen. So yeah, I'm with you on that fully, Nick. Like, I don't necessarily feel that I'm pursuing or running after like a designated end goal or something that, you know, it has to be this number by that age or this picture by that. I'm just like, nope, I'm just gonna work my plan. And I know that if I do that every day and continue to unlock some of these things for me that make me a better person, make me more valuable in the marketplace, of course opportunity is going to present itself. Of course people are going to, you know, send text messages saying, good job on the podcast and all this stuff. So like all of these things that we want, it's like, yo, it's right behind you doing what you're supposed to do. I feel like the podcast feels a little preachy today, but I'm just like, I don't know. It's that time, y'all. It's that time, y'all.
We don't mean to be preachy. We just gone through some things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gone through some things. But I mean, and it's always big on like, everything is about timing. Like, I'm always big, like, it's a matter of time. It's not, is it going to happen? It's just when.
Right.
And we're always like, okay, let me not try to be too transparent. I'll be one level above Moose. I'll be one level, all right? But there are certain situations that may not be super ideal for me. Like when people look at some of the things that I do, it's like, Nikki, why are you still doing this? Like, why? But why? Right? And for me, I believe in making sure I get the full purpose of the level that I'm in, right? The full purpose. And I don't believe that I put in certain situations for no reason. I feel like there's always a lesson. I feel like there's always clues to what is going to make me truly successful. Right? So I don't want people to be too hard on themselves when they're in certain situations and they feel like other people are looking at them like, yo, why are you still in there? Or, yo, you know you could do this by yourself. Like, it would be crazy, this, that, and the third. It's more like there's something deeper that still has to be done that is going to get me to that success place. And I'm not going to rush that. I'm not going to allow feelings to like really hinder that, because then I'm going more based off feelings than facts. I believe that each year of my life, there is another clue to, and another piece to this success puzzle. Now, is it almost there? Yeah. I got like few more pieces. I got a few more pieces. It's
the
really
picture's
dope.
filling in.
Right. Because before, and I've said it multiple times, like anybody would say, yo, what do you want to be when you grow up? I have no clue. What are you going to do? I don't have no clue. Right? I'm more of like, I just go with it because I truly believe that I'm never put in a situation I can't handle or that I can't learn from. So with that, I'm like reflecting about, okay, what was the clue that you got this year, right? What was that piece that you got this year? And it was more of the pandemic was one of those things that was that piece I needed. Because when you are stuck in a situation and you can't go nowhere, can you adjust? Because this is, you're looking at it from the world stopping, but then there's going to be other smaller situations that you're not going to go anywhere in. Like you may be caught in a team situation and you're stuck with that team for a bit. You know, you're stuck in this state for a bit. You're stuck in this certain position for a bit. Like, I'm not looking at it from a location standpoint. I looked at it like, okay, you know how to adjust. You were put in that situation to learn, and I didn't get it right at first, right? But it was one of those like, okay, once I figured it out, it started blowing up. I started maximizing on the situation that I couldn't go nowhere. So I can now in my head, the piece that's part of that success puzzle is, can you adjust when you can't go left, right, up, or down? Can you maximize on that particular spot no matter what are your tools, systems? How are you creating something new? I had to create a whole new routine. I had to create a whole new presence. I had to create, a whole new reputation at some point. And that was a learning experience. So like each year gives me a different piece. And this was that adjustment piece. Can you adjust when things are open again? When you can move freely? And when you are super closed, four walls kind of vibe, can you work with nothing and can you work with everything?
Yeah. No, that's a good word. That's a good word, Nix. That's a good word.
Yummy! Birthday lessons. Yummy!
Wow. Well, before, that's it, right? I don't think we got any more clips. Is that it?
No, that's it. We're good. We're on time.
Okay.
Look at me.
Can you?
No.
Oh wow. Can you tell what do you want for your birthday? Come on, let's have this conversation live and direct.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Tell us. What are some of the things on your wish list?
A new Rocket book. I got a new one, but I want another one.
Okay.
What else? Why are you putting me on the spot? This is weird.
She's looking around like,
Ooh.
Okay.
There's new shirts on the Marathon store that I said I wasn't going to buy no more because they took all my money. So that's something that I want. There's one that has like all the chains in the back of the shirt. That looks fire. And he's dropping a new capsule August 13th. So that's something, right?
Okay.
Okay, am I going high, low? I'm an only child, so I got budgets.
You know what I'm saying? Share some of your wish list. We just want to know. Give us a couple items.
So, for all, how about this? For all my rich friends, right? CJ, Mall, Eric Thomas, somebody, so people like that.
Yeah.
If y'all want to put in a pot 2 tickets to Rick Ross just dropped this mastermind conference thing, right?
Fire.
A good birthday gift would be 2 tickets for Nicky and Moose to go to this marketing, branding, networking event. Just saying, it's 3 days, September. It doesn't affect the 120 series, so we will still be around. Y'all look it up.
Hey.
It's on Rick Ross's IG. I'm not gonna super promo it unless Rick Ross, you would like to give us tickets as well.
Hey, posted your clip that one time. So
Facts.
you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Brother Mr. Rick, you know us. Like you've seen us
Mr.
before.
Rick.
You know what I'm saying? So in case you want to rock, let us know, sir.
Listen, I'm just saying we cover artists, celebrities, influencers as far as branding. It would only make sense that we would be there to just be a student and learn from people like Rick Ross, people like Diddy, people like L.A. Reid, this stuff like that.
All right.
That's for the rich friends. That's for the rich friends.
Okay.
And for I don't want to say like non-rich friends. That was
please don't say poor friends. Yeah, please don't say for my poor friends now.
No. To be honest, I think I'd be like so simple. Bagels, bangs, stuff like that. I'm super cool with, like, I love like the real true followers, because they're like, I got you bangs, it's going to the crib. I'm like, wait, what? How?
That's what's up.
That's crazy.
You still drink bang a lot?
I do, every day.
Okay. Gotcha.
Every day.
Okay.
Every day. Cotton candy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or strawberry one. Cotton candy, strawberry. I'm cool. Okay, I'm done with this birthday list. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, hey, let me say, I gotta give a couple, I gotta make a little announcement. I gotta give a little speech. I gotta give a little birthday speech live on the podcast, unannounced. Sorry to interrupt your regularly scheduled program for a second, Nix. But before we sign off, man, let me say, for real, man, for those of you who have been following Nix for a minute, or been rocking with her for a minute, I can honestly attest to, what I'm about to say here in a moment, and say, for someone who may appear like I'm hardcore, I work, and she does. There's nobody who works harder than this Nicky here that you see. But I'm always appreciative of the teddy bear that's still on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Because I do know there's a teddy bear on the inside. There's that super awesome, caring, delicate individual that wants to protect everybody that, has ever done anything. So for that, I just want to say thank you. I'm so proud of what you've been able to accomplish. I'm proud of the person you're becoming. I feel like every day you're getting better. Every day, you're looking for ways to add more value to people's lives. And that honestly means a lot. So, happy birthday to you. Enjoy this clarity trip. Have a blast. And I can't wait till we celebrate again next year.
In person. Yay! Me and Moose are going to do a clarity trip on my birthday.
Yeah.
We're going to do out of the country birthday trips.
Wow.
If you know, you know why that's a big deal. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But shout out to everybody who listens to the end. Shout out to the people, even though we gave the assessments last episode, right? Shout out to our 2 winners, Ralph and Santana. We got a lot of people. No, I'm still here.
I seen that. And
then the YouTube one, I'm still here. Hello.
Yeah,
so shout out to those who actually, we saw it. We're going to do something else. I can't tell you which episode. That's just, I can't do it. But Make
Just
sure
listen
you
to the
listen.
end. You never know what we
listen
got.
to the
Yeah, we got
end.
some giveaways coming up.
Big facts. It's not a Rolex just yet. You know what I mean? We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Shout out to those who gives out Rolexes and cars and all that great stuff.
Wow. All right.
Not there yet. But listen, everybody go to all our social media platforms at Nicky and Moose everywhere. For updated stuff. I realize we have a different experience everywhere. So I realize on the Twitter, we do like quotes, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the Instagram, we give you kind of like the clips and updated stuff that's happening. Facebook, we give longer clips and we're putting out like full episodes, starting to put full episodes, right? Still figuring out LinkedIn. Sorry. And then, of course, YouTube, you get this whole vibe, clips, all that great stuff, doing shorts. So follow us everywhere. Join the All Access Squad. And Moose, final words.
Can we remix this because it's your birthday? Can you hit them with a little, you know what I'm saying, birthday final words? I feel like it's only right. Like, you know, like it's you got to send us out, Nick. It's only right.
But
No?
that
Come
doesn't.
on. Yeah, just give them a little birthday lesson, like a quick little. All right, listen. It's
Fine. Okay. I'm gonna tell you the vibe that I'm on right now. Okay. Experiences. Moose has told you multiple times that I pay for convenience, right? I don't want to spend too much time doing things if I can pay for that to be done, so I can think of other stuff. But because I pay for convenience, I now have time to experience certain things. So I'm getting in a level to where it's not necessarily about money. It's about what can I experience in my life that no one else can. So I challenge everybody to get to a point where the experience means more than material, and the experience means more than the money, because we can't hold on to those things, but they can't take away what you experience. So that's what I'll say.
Boom.